The more down the rabbit hole I go on this case, the more twisted it becomes. So y'all, today we're going to be talking about one real charming young lady named Cecily Aguilar. We're going to go over some of the background information on her because I'm not going to lie, y'all, the cringe was so painful. I was like, I have to come talk to the squad about this one. Now we're also going to go over some of the updates on the tragedy of poor Vanessa Guillen. I'm also going to talk about the petition that Gregory Morales' family wants us to sign. So y'all, let's go ahead and hop on in the train wreck express and talk about Miss Aguilar. Now remember, she's like the only surviving person left in this heinous crime. Robinson, the boy toy, the guy who allegedly, did away with Vanessa, he did himself in when he was caught. And Miss Aguilera helped basically set him up and kind of get some information out of him. She basically ratted out on him. Now, she went to court yesterday. Today is Tuesday. They've hit her with a felony charge of alteration and mutilation to impede a criminal investigation. If she gets convicted, which I imagine most of us are kind of rooting for that side of the team. Yo, this is like 20 years in prison, $250,000 fine. I mean, if you ask me, it's not enough time, but, we'll take what we can get at this point. Now, when she was in court, basically the only thing she said is when the judge was reading off her charge and all that kind of stuff, and he's like, do you understand what this means? And she was just like, yeah, sure. Her next hearing is going to be for her preliminary hearing, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. on July 14th. That being said about her, y'all, let's go down the petty path, okay? Y'all, when I was reading more about her, I was like, where in the damn Walmart discount section, 50% aisle beneath the damn store did this girl crawl out from under? Here's the drill. I read this article by Crime Online. I have linked it below if you want to read it in depth. I'm just going to talk about a few of the things that I was like, oh, sis, it ain't a cute look. So as we know, we all know she was Robinson's girlfriend. She helped him dispose of Vanessa. Not just dispose, but mutilate this poor young lady. It was disgusting what they did. In addition to that, she was lying, she was covering up, she was giving alibis, yada, yada, yada. Now, here's a part that I just don't believe. So, according to a family attorney, Aguilar allegedly was like, well, look, this is what Robinson, my boyfriend, said. And that was basically that Vanessa was going to expose them for the situation they're in, like them dating each other. And essentially what this would have done is expose the fact that he was having an affair with a woman who was married to another soldier. Now, she was married to a guy named Kian Aguilar, and he was once stationed out Fort Hood. So, that aspect of okay, you're having an affair and, infidelity and all that, yeah, it's not a good thing. However, there's two ways to look at it here. So, do we believe Miss Aguilar saying, my boyfriend, Aaron, he said that she was going to expose him, and so, that's what was going on, and yada, yada, yada. Here's my questions for that. And again, I don't personally know Vanessa, so I'm not even trying to act like I was there and was invested in all these people's lives over this. I'm just looking at it from a stand back and let's think what sounds more logical. Why would Vanessa be all up in it with this dude to the degree that she's like, I'm exposing you and I'm bringing this light, I'm going to mess you up and da-da-da-da-da. So there's that. Okay, so then on top of that, it's like, Aaron Robinson is like, oh gosh, well, that was enough to make me snap and do all this to her to avoid that. So I'm like, okay, so you were going to go that route over something like that? Really? Okay. So here's my thing. I don't believe this chick, okay? I'm sorry, I just don't. She lost all credibility, honestly, a while back. I think it sounds way more plausible that Vanessa was going to go and start being like, hey, look, I'm being harassed. Here's the drill. I'm putting everybody out on Front Street. That's major right there. This is huge scandal. Now, I know also at this point is where people get into the cover-up thing, and y'all, let's be honest. Fort Hood doesn't have the best reputation. Okay, we get this. We know this. So, there's a lot of rabbit holes to go down with that, and I'm not even trying to sit here and say there isn't. But just the first little, do we take a left or do we take a right on this? If I'm looking at, well, to the left is, having to believe Cecily Aguilar and her saying that, oh, well, this is why it happened, or going with Vanessa's, what her sister and family are saying about this harassment, and that she was getting ready to go and, try and put a stop to this, speak up. It doesn't take much for me to say, yeah, we're taking a right here. So the next thing the article talks about is some of her past employment. And she was working at the gas station when this went down. Now it also states that according to her social media post, she was in the business of selling feet pictures. I love that the writer of the article and the publication, whatever, was nice enough to put selling feet pictures under former employment, almost like it was a resume. You know what I mean? What are your skills and past experiences that would make you good for this job fit? Well, I sold dirty, sweaty feet pictures. Do you need to know anything else about me? Because that pretty much tells you all you need to know. Her Instagram is about as basic can get. I mean, tons of cringy selfies, that kind of thing. Then also she's doing a lot of poses with guns, but it's the captions that she's putting on these, and these are coming days after this incident went down. And I'm like, oh, okay, so she wants to be gangster now. Okay, got it. One of them read, people who fight fire with fire end up with the ashes of their own integrity. So this is my whole thing about that. I'm just like, okay, not only did you go along with this dude, and then go to the lengths that you did to dispose of this poor young lady, then you want to go on Instagram posing, putting up this bad grammar BS. I mean, really? Yeah, really. I hope she doesn't even get damn $20 in her commentary. Now, a lot of people are demanding change take place in many systematic ways, and they're also using this tragedy as almost like a personal trajectory to come forward with their own stories. So on Monday, 90 lawmakers signed a letter from Representative Sylvia Garcia of Texas, and in this they were basically just demanding that the Pentagon's Inspector General launch an independent investigation into this. Now also over 2,500 servicewomen and veterans, they've signed a similar letter at this point. They are demanding an investigation and the relief of the letting go of Vanessa's chain of command. Now, on a more grassroots type level, a lot of people are coming forward. They're coming forward and telling their own horrifying experiences that have taken place, that up until this point, they haven't really said anything. They've been quiet. Like I said before, I don't personally know Vanessa, but she does seem to be this person, this human, this soul that had something very radiant about her. You know how you can just see that in some people's pictures and whatnot? She just seemed like that type person. And so I do think that it's beautiful what's happening is how people are utilizing what she went through and this horror, and they are using it to step out themselves, to overcome their own situation and to put themselves out there. That is how change will come. And again, I don't know Vanessa, but I can only hope and wish and I think that she would be elated over that. So before we wrap this up, y'all, let's switch gears for a second and let's talk about the other missing soldier that his remains have been found. An investigation's going in on that. And sadly, there's many other cases like this coming out of Fort Hood. I'm talking about Gregory Morales. Now remember, he went missing days before he was done. He was going home. He had plans, and he disappears. And so basically by doing that, he was considered a deserter, an AWOL status. And now that his remains have been found, he's not eligible because of that for a proper military burial. Well, his family is because basically, we don't have confirmation, but foul play is suspected, to say the least. So pending an investigation that's going on. Well, the family has put out some petitions, and actually, if you look in the description, I put up a couple of the petitions that I came across, and this is just trying to get his status changed so that he can get a military burial. So consider giving that a sign if you want to. It doesn't cost anything, just a couple of minutes of your time probably. So that's it. Check out my other videos here if you want to look into the Vallow case or more videos about the Vanessa Guillen case. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you later.